Welcome to Nerds, Geeks, in the Kitchen Sink. It is the podcast that is like hanging out at the video store. And today it really will
Yes.
be like hanging out at the video store. I'm one of your hosts, DK.
I'm Chris, your other host.
Im-
Luckily, to still have a
Improve if you
voice.
feel like it.
There you go. You got
I
to add
talk
it.
over you now.
Oh, hey, that's all right. I've done it all these years.
All right. Now, what were you saying? I'm
But
sorry.
I'm
It
luckily.
doesn't feel good.
No, no, yeah. Only to you does it not feel good. Anyway, I'm lucky to still have a voice. I mean, I know we don't talk sports at all on here, but I St. Louis City Soccer won
Mhm.
again last night, the first home opener game.
Were you there? Did you go?
No, I didn't get to go. I was actually, believe it or not, I was at a trivia night.
Oh,
And not even on my A game, we got third place.
hey, nice.
So out of several, like 20 something tables, we got third place.
Very cool. Congrats. Did you
And
get did you
technically,
win
I'm
like
going
a
to go
gift
with
card?
two. I'm going to go with two because the first two were tied.
I
So
see.
they were just 1A, 1B. We were second. So I'm
Okay.
going to go with second.
All right. All right.
Okay.
Well, boy, a lot has happened since last we spoke.
Yeah.
Um, we've got a lot to talk about today.
Oh, yeah. Tons.
Um,
Some fun stuff.
yeah, is there something specific you want to start with?
Not. I mean, I know I've talked about this all this time, but the Midnight Suns. I know you're finally playing now,
I am, and I'm really enjoying it. Yes,
and I've already finished the Venom DLC.
you're real into it.
I am into it.
Yeah.
I'm really loving the game.
So we
It's
recommend this game to
Yeah,
our listeners
it's like a
for sure.
strategy fighter meets Marvel Snap.
A little bit with the card
It's
aspect. Yeah,
yeah. So
I
that's
would
fun.
call it I would call it XCOM meets Mass Effect,
Okay.
in wrapped up in X-Men/Marvel.
Yeah. So and just a quick thing. Who's your favorite three? I already know, but let's tell everybody
Well,
else.
it's of the
Of who you have so
helper
far.
characters, or do I have to include the
You
hunter?
don't have to include Hunter
Okay,
because everybody,
everyone has hunter. Okay,
yes. Let's
um,
be honest, it's the strongest character in the game. So
apart
everybody,
from
that's everybody's favorite to begin
yeah,
with. So
apart from hunter,
yeah.
who I first of all I just want to say there's hunter has this animation that I love when
Uh
hunter is doing heal.
uh
My hunter is a bald woman with aviators. She
huh.
she kind of looks like Maynard from Tool in some ways.
Okay.
She does this move where she does when it's heal.
Oh, it's
She
the
she does this with, and she puts her hand
yeah.
down and she goes, and she looks right at the camera, but she's got her aviators on, so she's just like, I
Yeah.
love that. Every time it makes me laugh. Um, but so apart from Hunter, who is the player customizable character,
Right.
um, of course, Blade number one.
Right.
He's from the get go a great choice. I pretty much single handedly murdered Venom with him every
Yeah.
time I fought Venom. Um, and then obviously Ghost Rider, who keeps getting hurt for some reason, and probably my third at this point is Magic, but I don't have all the characters yet. I know I'm going to put Wolverine in that top three probably.
Oh yeah.
I can't wait to get him. He's perfect. He's perfect for the other guys I got. So
Yeah.
those are the three that I use the most though at this point.
Yeah.
I've been doing mainly side missions, just trying to get my relationships leveled up
Right.
and just get as many side quests done as I can before I move on, because it's not easy.
No.
I'm not playing on the easy mode. I think I'm right in the middle. And
Right.
some of it's pretty challenging. You
Yeah.
do some of these missions more than once. It's just you have to learn from your mistakes, and I'm not always good at that. So I wouldn't say that I'm like expertly good at this game, but I
Right.
really am having fun.
Yeah. It's a fun game.
Yep.
Of all the bad guys, though, of like the minion guys, I hate the little demon guy that if you don't kill him on the first shot, splits
Mm,
and then can split other characters.
yeah,
That guy
that's
sucks.
annoying.
I even on the big levels, if I have a boss, I kill
Go for
his
them
ass
first.
first. Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably wise. Did I talk about? Was I? Boy, I don't remember. There's a game I sort of was introduced to and went nuts on last week. Did I talk about Viviette?
No, you
No?
didn't. Mm-mm.
Okay. I have to go over this. This was an interesting find. I had a couple friends just randomly recommend it to me because I've been doing a lot of pixel art. I've been
Right.
working on getting better at pixel. Well, first of all, starting pixel art, not getting better
Yeah.
at, but even beginning. I've never done it before,
Right.
so I've been doing pixel art for about a month or slightly more at this point. But so a friend said, "Hey, if you're really into pixel art, there's this game called Viviette. It's on Steam. Normally, it's like $10. It was on sale for 5,
Oh, okay.
and it looks like a Super Nintendo RPG, but it is a horror game. It's a gothic horror game
Okay.
that is mainly puzzles, but also so think like a puzzle game, like think of the puzzle aspects of like a Resident Evil or even Silent Hill,
Okay.
where you're going around this creepy environment and it's like, oh, you found this item, and then you remember, oh, I need to go back over here to do that. That kind of puzzler, right?
Right.
Open environment puzzler. But there's no combat in it. But there
Hmm.
is a. Did you play Resident Evil 2?
Yeah.
Remember Mr. X, the
Yes.
big guy that follows you around?
Yes.
There is basically a Mr. X type character that can basically anytime you're doing anything within a certain area, which is the main play area, this giant mansion that you're in.
Okay.
Um, anytime you're in there after a certain point of the game, this AI monster, I'll call it, can appear anytime. So you might be deep within trying to figure out a puzzle or figuring out, reading information about the lore or whatever. It doesn't matter
Right.
what you're doing. This character can just open the door and walk into the room and kill you.
Nice.
But
Yeah.
you can get away, but it's like it's very you're never sure. You're
Right.
never sure if it's going to happen. So if you like basically Super Nintendo style RPG graphics, very pixel art,
Right.
um, mixed with puzzles. And I mean, the whole thing is mood basically. The puzzles are good though. I didn't use a guide or anything, and it took me about 5 hours to get through. Um, it's replayable as well. There are multiple endings. I got the very bad ending, so I'm looking forward to going back I looked up how to get the better ending, and I did
Mm-hmm.
one thing wrong. I did one
Oh,
thing wrong. I'm so
I
mad about
hate
it.
that. Yeah.
So that's a bummer. But it's called Viviette. It's on
Vivian.
Steam.
Okay.
I really like it. If you've got, it'll run on any computer. I mean, really, it takes nothing to run this game, and I really recommend this game. So, boy, big time. It's definitely different,
Yeah.
but it is the kind of thing where it can just like consume you for a couple hours, and then you're like, oh, that was really fun. It was good. I know you can complete the game in like an hour if you know what you're doing.
Right.
So, no, I
But
really enjoyed
but
that.
who likes to speed run through games? Come
Well,
on.
I do with Metal Gear Solid, but that's about
Well,
it.
but how many times have you played that?
Oh, hundreds at this
Yeah,
point.
and that's what I mean.
I
If
mean,
you've
I can
played a
do it
game,
in
yeah.
3 hours. So
If you played a game 100 times, then yes, you can speed
yes,
run through it. But if you're just starting out a game, who wants to do that?
but the
So
true thing that I loved about Viviette was that I really liked the vibe,
yeah,
its whole thing, the music and the look of it. The story was interesting. So no, I definitely recommend Viviette. If people are into that kind of a game, keep in
right.
mind again, there's no combat or anything like that. You're just solving puzzles. People might find it frustrating or slow, but I really enjoyed it. So
It's cool.
that's a
It's worth a
hard
check out.
recommend.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there was one other thing I did gaming this week,
Okay.
and I have to talk about it because I feel a real rage. So we were on PlayStation Plus and we were playing the freebie games. We were just looking at the list of because I have the higher tier, PlayStation Plus that comes
Yeah,
with the
I do
free game,
too. Yep.
basically
Yep.
like the Game Pass.
Yeah.
And we saw that Kingdom Hearts was on there. And while that's not really my kind of game,
Hmm.
my wife was like, I think maybe Zora would like that. She's 10 now. She could probably
Right.
handle something like that. It has Disney characters that we know Zora loves. Maybe she should try Kingdom Hearts. So she was playing Kingdom Hearts. We downloaded it for her and she was playing it.
Hmm.
And she was having fun. She was getting through it, no problem. And we were sitting there and we were like, man, I wonder if she should play. I wonder if Zora would like Ocarina of Time, the Zelda game.
Yeah.
And because that was one of my wife's favorites. She loved it when it was new. It was not ever my favorite, but I get that it's a classic that,
Right.
I would like Zora to play. So I was like, yeah, she should try it. So the next day, yesterday, I get on to Nintendo and I upgraded this stupid expansion pass you have to do to get those games. You can't just buy
Right.
them. You have to pay this stupid fee for these whatever, and you get them
Yeah.
all. And I was interested in trying GoldenEye, which has just been added.
Right. We talked about you attempting to play Goldeneye
Yeah, right,
yesterday. Yeah.
right. So I tried Ocarina of Time and it was fine. Everything looked good. It played well. I had no problems. The dogs were barking. I don't know what that's about. Uh, but then, so I pulled up GoldenEye, and Chris, it is unplayable. The
Oh,
controls are so bad. They did not.
really?
They did not try at all. They re-released the game for Xbox, and they gave that game a new control scheme.
I was just saying that one I knew they had
Well,
re
there's a new version of it that
okay.
released alongside this one for the Switch, and
Right.
it's like the original game, but they added within that game a new control scheme.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And the Nintendo one doesn't have it.
Oh,
And so if you're not using, now there is an N64 controller you can get. It's
right.
out of stock from Nintendo. You can't get it right now. It's $50. So to play it correctly for one player, you're in for $100 at least
Yeah.
to play GoldenEye, and then they're going to get you every year for more. So I was raging. Like it shouldn't have been even released at this point like
But
this.
pretty much isn't it that Nintendo's MO? I mean, everything is an extra cost. Everything
Oh
you've got
yeah,
to, yeah, I mean,
they're very much the Disney of gaming,
yes.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I was so mad. I was so mad. And I tried all the control schemes. None of them made sense at
Yeah.
all to a modern gamer. And I think there was like if we had Nintendo in the room right now, they'd probably say, "Oh, well, we wanted to keep it as faithful to the original as possible. These are the original control schemes."
Right.
This is not the same controller.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm using the Switch controller that everyone has.
Right.
That's what you should make the control scheme for.
Yeah.
The controller that everyone has, not this $50 optional controller
But
that no
no,
one's going
that's
to
what they
order.
want. They want you to
Yeah.
buy another controller.
And if you want to play local co-op, local, you have
Yeah.
to you have to spend $200 on controllers.
I know.
No, I'm so mad because I
Yeah.
do love GoldenEye. So the best way continues to be either this new Xbox version, which I haven't had a chance to try, or
Right.
just emulate it or play it on the original.
Yeah.
They just don't want to please me, and I'm so mad. It's like truthfully, there's no way you could play. It's not made for humans.
Yeah.
It's not good. It's so frustrating. I was so mad. So let's
Well, the
not.
fact that we've talked about Goldeneye several times on the show throughout the
Yes,
years, we know how much.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love Bond. I love GoldenEye. It
Yeah.
was a very special time in my life. Okay.
Speaking of which, on TV yesterday, I forgot what channel it was. They had a James Bond marathon.
What did they show?
I know Live and Let Die was on.
Nice.
For Your Eyes Only.
Oh yeah. Okay. So Roger Moore
Um,
so far.
it was like three Roger Moore, three Sean Connery. I think they threw one Timothy Dalton in, one
Oh.
Pierce Brosnan.
Okay.
And then they had the George Lazenby, Inner Majesty Secret Service.
Yeah, which I think is we've talked about a
And then
really good movie.
yes, and I think they finished with Casino Royale. So
That sounds like a pretty good time.
yeah,
That sounds good. Well, anything else in gaming for you?
not really in gaming. Like I said, I've been on the Midnight Suns
Mm-hmm.
thing, and then my daughter is more into the um combat fighter, just the arcade fighter style,
Mm.
Injustice, Mortal
And I love
Kombat.
those too. Yeah.
She's a freaking ringer. We've had kids over, and like a bunch of boys and girls that I like coached and stuff, and they're sitting there playing. She's like, well, let's play Injustice. And then she rope and dopes
I'm sure.
these guys.
Should
Yeah,
destroy
it's
me.
funny.
I'm sure.
Yeah. And then Mortal Kombat, she's just vicious.
I believe they just announced a new Mortal Kombat.
Yes, I saw that. That's coming out. And then I know the big controversy, Street Fighter, some of the redesign.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't have much to say about that. That's good.
just the thing is, oh,
Yeah, it's not for us anymore, I guess.
No, I guess.
I guess this version. And the other controversy in gaming was the Kill the Justice League is a live service
Yeah,
game, much like a Destiny or something like that,
right.
and requires internet connection even for single player.
Yeah,
And it's going to be cosmetic nickel and diming city is what it
yeah,
sounds like. I mean,
yeah,
look, you can ignore those things. You shouldn't. I shouldn't be so negative about it, but I already wasn't sure,
yeah.
and those things are kind of not great.
Well, and the fact that we've not really seen any major gameplay
Well, they just showed a
and
bunch.
just cinematic. Oh, didn't it just
Yeah,
come
it was
out?
like 15 minutes worth. Yeah,
Oh, okay. I was saying until then, all we've pretty much seen is cinematics.
and
So
I do have to give them. It does look like each character is unique, and they
right,
have spent a lot of time making playing Harley Quinn feel like playing Harley Quinn, and all these things like this.
right.
So I whatever. I'm not going to say I wouldn't like it until I try it, I guess. But I'm
Yeah.
just not. I don't know. If my friends want to play it, I'll play it with them. But I'm not like lining up.
I'm not a huge fan of the whole microtransaction thing in games. If like Midnight Suns is different because you can gain stuff in the game to buy the stuff, not have to actually physically pay money
Right.
to get most of the outfits and stuff like that. So
Yep.
that's kind of
Yep.
where I'm. But no, that's pretty much the only thing in gaming wise. Like I said, I've finished both the new DLCs for that, and I've been just running some of the PlayStation Plus
Okay. All right.
games on there.
Well,
So
I do want to give an update from last episode.
okay,
I made a solemn vow to do
so about
something,
yes,
and it's something that I've been saying I would do for literally
right,
years at this point.
right.
And I said I will promise before
Watch
next episode.
Aquaman.
It wasn't Aquaman. That wait, I've seen Aquaman.
Oh,
I've seen
did you
I've seen
finally?
Aquaman.
Okay, you
I
finally
saw
saw it.
Aquaman drunk in a hotel room like years ago. I did not love it, but maybe I need to retry it.
Yeah.
Um,
No, I know what it is.
I watched Shazam,
Yeah,
the first Shazam,
yeah.
um, and it was fun. Like I watched it with Zora and my wife, and no one had any real complaints. We just had a fun time. I mean, it's a pretty much like a self-contained superhero story,
Well, and that's just it. It doesn't take itself too seriously, and it's just a fun superhero movie.
and there were parts of
So
it
if
that I
you,
was like, oh, okay, I really, like him being on his own and his mother's problems and all that stuff, like
yeah,
that stuff. I was like, oh, okay, this is pretty real. I like that.
yeah,
And then Mark Strong as the villain.
yeah, he's
He's
always good, no
he's
matter.
always good. Yeah, I like him no
Yeah,
matter what, pretty much. So he was fun. Him just tossing people out a window. The sins looked stupid, but I liked it.
yeah,
They were like old school statue esque.
right.
I
The
think that's what they were supposed
gargoyle
to be.
kind of,
Yeah,
yeah,
gargoyle. Yeah, I like that. Well, we had fun.
right.
It was plenty of comedy.
Yeah,
The guy who plays
Zachary Levi.
both the kid and the adult version,
Oh yeah, yeah, and
really good. They work
yeah,
together really well. And no, it was actually fun. Like I have to give Shazam a thumbs up.
yeah.
It does fall into many of the tropes of a superhero movie, but
But it
it
knows
is a
it
superhero
does.
movie. Yeah, it works.
Then that's the thing. I think what's different with this one is it knows it does.
Yeah, no, I would say
Some of the others, like I mean, don't get me wrong, I like some of the aspects of the Zack Snyder universe stuff, but
hmm,
it's a superhero movie and it takes itself way too seriously
yes.
on some of it. This one plays to, it it's supposed to, I mean, you've got a 13, 14-year-old kid
Yep.
in a
The
suit,
kid.
basically in Superman's body,
Yeah.
kind of thing. So the whole part of, and I know everybody for the most part seen the first one, that you get a cell phone charge, you get a cell phone charge,
The guy's
and
blows up.
then them at
Yeah.
the gas station. That was
You're welcome for not getting robbed
yeah,
or drinking the beer and hating it.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I was glad they went there. Yeah.
yeah.
That was good. No, that was fun. So yeah, actually, I'm glad I checked it out. And so now we can watch the second one in the theater. Is it
Yes,
next week that
it
comes
comes
out?
out this coming weekend.
And so maybe it would be fun to do a bit of a
Trailer,
trailer
yeah,
reaction to Shazam! Fury of the Gods.
Yes.
So I'm going to do that right
All right.
now. If I remember how. You'd think I would know how to do it by this
I mean,
point.
you know.
Wouldn't you?
Well,
Wouldn't you?
we all have our shortcomings.
Okay, here we go.
Screen.
Okay. Optimized for video clip.
Okay.
I don't know what that means, but all right.
Dun, dun, dun.
Here we go.
All right.
You see it?
Yep.
All right. All right, here we go.
Okay. Lucy Lou.
We are at war.
Hold on.
Okay.
Was it a football field or a baseball? I couldn't
quite tell. It looked almost like in baseball.
Okay, because if it would be a football field, it would be pretty funny if like Bane showed up at the same time and they're like, hang on, we had the field booked for today.
Yeah. What are you doing here?
Annihilate everything. Champions of this realm can do nothing to stop us.
So they're...
You are very menacing. I just want you to know. A lot has changed in the last few years. The wizard gave me superpowers. And then everybody got superpowers.
Started from the bottom, now we're here.
All right, here's the situation.
Started from the bottom, now the whole team here.
The daughters of Atlas are coming to hunt us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Question.
Okay.
The Daughters of Atlas.
Yes.
Is this going to tie into Wonder Woman?
There are rumors that Diana is gonna make an appearance.
It almost seems like she has to.
Yeah. There's been a lot of stuff. And, of course, obviously, until the movie comes out next week, they're not going to reveal it. But
yeah,
they've made the rumors abundant that Diana's going to make an appearance.
Well, and it seems like totally unfair if she doesn't get to show up when all the Batmans are coming back and all this, and they're saying, didn't they say we're keeping Aquaman?
At least for the next.
So seriously, she better get to come back.
Okay, now we don't have to go back, but a quick shot, when it showed the Shazam family.
Yeah. Shazamly.
The Shazamly. Or Famzam.
Shazam fam, yeah.
The Famzam.
Moving on.
The girl that plays Mary Marvel, they decided in this one that unlike everybody else, she's playing both roles as her human self, and because last time they had a different person playing,
I think it was someone else. Yeah.
So this time she's old enough, I guess.
And why not? Yeah.
So
interesting, but that makes sense.
One less paycheck,
that's true.
He's gonna throw out there. So
that's true. All right,
but she looks fine in the role, and that's the way I like the fact that they play all these characters. They are the way they look in the comic.
They are not. I have to give it that, because if I was looking at it, I might go, like, if I was looking at doing an adaptation myself,
right?
I might go, can we do something with these outfits? Like, I don't know, are these modern enough? Like,
that's where I have a big problem with. You have classic, iconic stuff.
Yeah.
Can we make it more modern?
I know,
enough?
but I understand the fear though, because will people look at it and go, "Is this dumb?" And it is a little dumb.
You can make it. I mean, let's be honest. All of this.
Yeah, I totally agree.
But I mean, is there a little bit of realism to an outfit like that, but keeping the spirit of the outfit?
Sure.
And that's what
there's a
I
balance.
wish. Yeah. Unlike in the Flash, when we get the Supergirl in that one. But anyway, that's another movie. Let's go.
All right. Helen Mirren.
I mean, anytime you can have Helen Mirren as a
from our father's core.
So good.
Okay, I feel like maybe I should be writing all this down.
Give us the powers, child.
Your world will not survive this.
You want these powers? Come get them! Hey, Khaleesi!
Game of Thrones reference. Very fun.
Bottom, now we're here.
All right.
Started from the bottom, now the whole team here.
We have one job to do. Save the world.
Billy!
I don't know how we fight powers like this.
can't do this. Take my powers back. You gave them to me so you can take them back, right?
Oh my
I spent
gosh.
millennia searching for a worthy champion. You know exactly what must be done.
The things, the buildings moving all around is a little like Inception or something like that.
Yeah.
Now, I have to ask.
Okay.
I know Black Adam is very related to this.
Yes.
Are we just going to leave all that in the dust? Is that done?
See, that's and I don't know. I mean, that's kind of one of these things, and they've said that at some point Black Adam would have made an appearance beforehand, not necessarily in this movie, but with a continuation of it.
Yeah.
So, but right now in the current state of WB, I'm
just
not
seems like-
sure.
Yeah, that's dead in the water. It seems.
You know, and James Gunn has made the statement that Shazam is kind of its own thing. And
But
he's
Superman's in
interested-
And the
in
Flash.
the first one. I know.
Wait, no, with the
Well,
Flash.
no,
was
Flash
the
is
Flash
in
in
it. No,
why did I think the Flash was in it?
I don't know.
was
Probably
Superman.
them zooming. Yeah.
Yep.
But you know that Shazam is kind of its own thing, and he's interested in keeping it. There's been no, affirmative yes or no.
Interesting. Yeah, because
But
I guess.
yeah.
Well, I don't know how much does this tie into the Wonder Woman or to the Black Adam or even to the Zack Snyder-y stuff. Like, I guess they didn't really go too far into that. So
No, and that's the thing. They really didn't get too far into it.
we didn't ever even see Superman's face.
Yeah.
So.
And it wasn't Henry Cavill. So
Right. So we
know that.
well, if you have Cavill, you're not going to not show his face.
Right. I do want one little detail, and I really like, if you notice right there on the shot that we're looking at on the screen, he has the tiger heads on the medallions.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a throwback to the tiger Shazam had, or Captain Marvel would be at the time.
That's cool.
So a little actual comic book nod there.
That's cool.
So
all right, let's finish this bad boy out.
Okay.
What are you doing? I have to do this.
We end this now.
Yeah, we do.
Started from the bottom, now we're here. Started from the bottom, now the whole team here.
Uppercutting a dragon.
Started from the bottom, now we're here.
Oh, that's fun. Well, there we go.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I think we'll probably be going to the theater for that.
So March 17th, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
I think so.
So
Pretty fun.
Right before our next podcast.
You know, and I'm not like real into the dragons and the magical creatures and all that stuff, but I'm looking forward to going to the theater and having a good time seeing this dumb movie. So,
and that's what it is. It's just a fun superhero over the top kind of movie. So.
Yep, exactly right. Well, and speaking of those,
yes, I do have a little Warner Brothers Studio announcement things that they're doing. If you guys don't know, it's their 100th anniversary of Warner Brothers Studios, and starting in April the 4th, they are doing a one-day re-release of some of the classic movies, and in theaters, on April 4th is Superman.
Good Lord, I have to go.
And then on April 13th is the anniversary of Lord of the Rings Return of the King.
Oh.
And they will be playing the extended edition, the 4.5 hour.
Oh my God.
And then a couple of just two other kind of high notes, because they're going to be doing it all year long. In September, we are going to get The Exorcist hitting the theater.
I've seen it in the theater twice
the
already.
Original Exorcist in the theater.
I've seen it in the theater twice already, and I would go a third time.
Yes,
if you can see Exorcist in the theater, go do it.
Go do it. And then right before the Christmas holiday in November, Elf is coming out back in theater.
Oh boy, my family's gonna want to go.
There's gonna be several. I know, like old classics like the Maltese Falcon, and there's like several older movies that are going to be played throughout the year. It's usually a 1 day or weekend event.
Is it like a Fathom event or is it something else?
It's going to be at the Regal and the Cinemark theaters. So look at your listings in those theaters.
Okay.
But I'm excited for Superman.
I can't.
We got that in the big screen.
I got to take Zora to that. She loves that movie.
Yes, the original Superman.
And I've never seen it in the theater. So that would be glorious.
I've got to figure out where I'm going for the Lord of the Rings one.
Yeah.
4.5 hours. I will make sure that,
pack a bag
and some adult diapers. But no, so I'm excited for those. So some of the great movies that some of the ones that we've never seen on a big screen.
There's no way I could have seen Superman unless it was something like this.
Yeah,
and that's a movie I grew up with. So
right,
absolutely.
So that starts April 4th. Is going to be the first one. So
awesome, very cool.
Definitely.
Well, we do have a movie to talk about.
Okay, do we want to talk about that first, or do we want to talk about what's all behind me that started this week?
No, I think we should talk about this first.
Okay.
I want to get this out of the way.
Okay.
And take our time on Mando.
Yes.
This film, pronounce it, Chris.
Gatotkaca.
Okay. We think that's how it's pronounced.
Yes.
Gatotkaca.
Yes.
A Hero Awakens.
Yeah. It is distributed by Well Go USA Entertainment.
Yep.
Comes out on Blu-ray, digital, and DVD March 21st. So
March 21st. Yes.
We got this to screen.
And screen it we did.
Also the martial arts streaming service, Haya,
yeah.
It actually started on there last month. So
Okay. Well, do you want to start?
Well, I mean, really, I kind of combine this as a Power Rangers meets Superman, with some Indonesian lore.
Mm-hmm.
It is an Indonesian movie.
Yes.
It does have subtitles and dub on the Blu-ray. But I had a lot of fun with it. I've seen a lot of even U.S. movies that had worse special effects.
The special effects were fine.
Actually pretty good. I mean,
they were fine. Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, I had no issues with the effects. I mean, it definitely looks like your average big budget movie. There's nothing to complain about there.
No.
I watched it with my family. I think maybe this was a mistake. They didn't like it at all.
Really?
And so it was like kind of a bummer with them because they did not understand. They didn't, and I had to watch the dub, which I would prefer not to watch.
Right.
And I also think the dub honestly hurt my viewing experience. So I don't want to be Mr. Negative, but the dub did not do it for me.
See, I watched it both. I first watched the subtitles in Indonesian.
Yes.
And then I watched the dub. And
I'm sure that would be way better. I think this movie will be popular with a certain group for sure. I think in its genre, it does exactly what it should do, and it's probably could be a fan favorite.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, I didn't really connect with this movie, and I'm really sorry.
You should have came over to my house and we watched it together.
It might have been more fun that way.
Yeah.
There were some things I did really like, though. Some of the production design and the masks the masks were cool.
Yeah.
The comedic moment when they're fighting in the street, and then then the old lady comes out and is like, "What are you doing? You can't be fighting here. Get
That's
out of
a
here."
kung fu hustle moment if I ever saw
And
one.
I was like, "Oh, is this what the movie will be like?"
Yeah.
And then it didn't really do any more comedy like that again.
Right.
I was kind of disappointed because I was like, "Oh, that was really funny." A kung fu hustle or like a Jackie Chan movie type,
right.
comedy like that was really good.
Yeah.
But what I couldn't get past was all the dialogue is just like exposition.
Right.
But then it didn't really. What am I trying to say here? It was just back and forth about this. The gene, you have this gene and you have that gene. It felt like an anime.
Yeah.
And they have the thing you can look through and see your aura and you know
right.
which gene you have.
Yeah.
It did seem like could be a cool anime,
Right. I think the biggest part is they did a lot of, and we've talked about this with other movies, that first movie is almost sometimes overly world building. And I think that was the I kind of tried to go past that a little bit because I know we've been critical of other movies that have done this, because this absolutely plays into a sequel.
Oh, it's literally
I mean
starts to tell you another story and then says, "Oh, next time, baby."
Yeah. But like I said, with me watching the native language with the subtitles,
I think that would have really helped.
It made a huge difference.
But I was vetoed in this house. I ain't reading no movie.
Yeah.
Is what
you
I
need
heard.
to watch it again by yourself with the subtitles.
Maybe so. I unfortunately I didn't have the best experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's too bad because, and clearly it is. I don't want people to get me wrong. Like, it's good at what it does.
Yeah.
It's
got some good martial arts in it.
Yeah.
And it's not over the top crouching tiger, hidden dragon.
No, and it's got the guy from The Raid.
Yeah.
Tasu Leach.
Yes.
From episode 7. Good to see you.
Yes, in John Wick, a couple guys that have been in John Wick.
Exactly right.
You know,
there wasn't enough maybe of the martial art thing. It was just too much like
and that's what I think
exposition, just so much exposition. I was bummed.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest thing. And like I said, we've been critical of big budget movies starting off a series that it's too much world building, almost a little bit too much world building.
Right. I will say again, I think for a certain person, this could be a favorite.
Yeah.
I really do. It just maybe wasn't my bag. Maybe that's what it was. So, and I think again, the dub didn't help. And the subtitle would have been a better choice.
Yeah.
But
like I said, try it again with just you and watch it in the subtitles and see if you have a different opinion.
Yep.
Like I said, my criticism is the one thing. I liked it. I don't know if it's more than you or not, but I did enjoy it.
Yeah.
Like I said, I did watch it pretty much by myself because I knew my wife and daughter would not have. It's not their thing. But
well, I had 24 hours to watch it, and I was with them the whole time, so I didn't really have a choice.
And I get it. And that's my fault. I didn't get it to you.
Yeah, this is your fault.
It's been a rough week, damn it.
I did not absolutely hate it by any means. No. I had those little problems, and I'm sure again it's going to be for if you're a fan of that kind of thing, or even if you just like anime. I think it is very much like an anime type story,
right,
and it has an interesting world. Like it is fun. The whole like you have this gene, and then you unlock other abilities with these heirlooms,
right,
and things like that. Like I think it has a cool concept.
Premise,
it is. I just didn't love every moment of.
I think there's a chance that if this does get a sequel, which I mean it plays to getting a sequel, but if this does get a sequel, I think there's a chance that it may improve on it quite a bit. Because you won't have as much world building per se.
Sure.
And I think that was its one little downfall. If I would,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But no, I'm glad we got to screen it. And I can recommend it for for people.
Yeah.
If you are into martial arts movies, or a certain type of anime style story, or even just certain types of superhero movies.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it is just like a superhero movie.
Right.
It does have really one sequence of superheroing.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
And it actually looks pretty good. I mean, it really looks really well.
No, I liked it.
Like
that part
I said,
was cool.
the trailer of Flash, that sequence with Supergirl, didn't look as good as
some of that stuff looked really
Yeah.
good. I liked, and it was fine.
Now I like the main character's final costume.
Yeah, he looks like Nova from Marvel.
He looks like an Indonesian Nova.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's pretty awesome looking. So
yeah,
I had fun with it. Would I give it a 5 out of 5? No. But there's been very few movies lately that I would give a 5 out of 5.
Sure.
I mean, to me, anything above a 3 is good rating.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd probably do a 3.5.
Okay. I don't know if I could. I don't think it would be fair for me to give it a rating, so I don't think I will.
Yeah.
But I will say one last time. There are people out there, and I think some of our listeners / viewers will like this movie. Yeah. So it might be something to consider. Maybe check out the trailer to see if that's your thing. I just maybe it wasn't the right day or something like that. But I mean, and they clearly put the work in. It looks good. It sounds good. There's gratuitous PlayStation playing. I like that. The old lady with the shotgun.
Yeah.
Also pretty funny.
Right.
I just wanted more comedy moments like that, I guess.
Yeah.
All in all, I'm glad I watched it. So
yeah. It was a fun movie. It was fun. Something different than your normal Hollywood production.
Oh yeah.
But it had Hollywood quality.
I would agree.
I mean,
I would agree for the most part. Yeah. Yeah.
So
check it out if that sounds like your kind of thing.
Right. Now you say the title of it though. Remind people.
Gatotkaca.
Okay.
I think. I had a tough time. Did they say it in the film?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did near the end. I know the kid that had the spyglass.
Yeah.
He was.
He had the coolest mask, by the way.
Yes, he did have the coolest mask.
Looked like something from like Mike Mignola comic.
Right.
Like Hellboy or something.
Yeah. It's a combination between that and Princess Mononoke.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Yeah, I see that.
So, all right, let's get back into the big boy today.
All right. This is what we're here for.
Right.
The Mandalorian season 3.
Yes, episode 1.
Episode 1. So do you want to start with general vibe, general reactions?
I'm kind of middle of the road right now in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
I wish they would have done more of because the fact that they played this, that you had to watch Book of Boba Fett to get some of this.
Really, only the fact that Grogu is back, right?
Well, no, the Darksaber.
Oh,
what's her face?
Wait, hold on, no, with the Darksaber. He had that in.
But I mean, the whole ruling the Mandalore, and then the why he was going back to Mandalore.
Right. That's true. You're right about that.
The
You're
ruling of Mandalore with.
But we're good Star Wars fans, and we know that because we've watched it all. So I'm not going to count that against it.
But if you got turned off at the beginning of Book of Boba Fett,
you missed out because there's some really good episodes.
You have to go back to the last 3 episodes of it.
Worth
you
watching.
can almost skim to the last 3 episodes.
Honestly,
of Book of Boba Fett, and
then, you could.
Yeah,
the first 3 I don't really need, but the last couple there really worth it.
Although the first 3 did make some incredible memes.
Yes.
Like Amantha.
Yes. So I felt similarly. Maybe it's not my favorite episode of the show. I like there was some fun stuff in there. The little Babu Freak guys were fun.
Yeah.
I love the whole thing of like Carl Weathers like looking into the hole.
Yeah.
And
when they're working on him.
Mando, he says it's broken.
Yeah.
And Mando asking, anytime he doesn't understand someone, he's like, do you speak Huttese?
Yeah.
It's always like, do you know Huttese by chance?
Yeah.
It's like a really funny running gag that I've noticed.
Yeah.
What else? Oh, I like the pirate guy. I think he looks ridiculous. I mean, really
he
stupid.
looks like Pizza the Hut.
Yes, and I
but
like
just
it.
green.
Yes, I fully agree. And if you came in here and said, "Oh, I hate the design; it's so stupid," I would agree with. I mean, I get it.
I'm not gonna lie.
I think it's great.
I'm not a huge fan of it.
He looks like he belongs as he's like a Ravager from Guardians of the Galaxy.
He looks like a moldy Pizza the Hut.
Yeah, he really does. I think it's very funny that they went with this whole pirate thing, and the pirates are really pirates. They have like pirate boots and coat jackets and stuff.
Yeah,
I thought that was funny. The guy says "avast."
Yeah.
Okay, well, do you want to go? I can read the Wikipedia plot.
Okay. Yeah,
and we can just talk about each thing here.
Yeah, we can do that.
So the armorer forges a new helmet for a foundling who is being accepted into the Creed. A ceremony is held where he must vow to never remove his helmet. I read that kid was like Jimmy Kimmel's nephew or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I read.
Nepotism as it finest.
Nepotism. He's a nepo baby. Get him out of here.
Yeah.
This ceremony.
Oh no, he didn't get eaten yet.
No, it would have been funny if he did. But
that would have been.
This ceremony is interrupted.
With the Wilhelm scream.
Yeah, with a crocodile-like monster attacks the tribe. The clan initially fails to defend themselves, but they are saved by Din Djarin and Grogu, who have been reunited.
Okay, can I make a statement?
Yes.
Okay. The Mandalorian have long-range rifles and jetpacks, yet we're going to go up close to a giant freaking,
if they're all wearing jetpacks, just every single person, whoosh, we're done. We're out of the way. We go over here and we're gone. That thing can't reach us. That was dumb.
And okay, it's a million times our size. Let me harpoon the bastard.
Yeah.
I mean, when the crane dragon, they had those giant anchor, harpoons. Yet I'm gonna take my little wrist anchor.
Yeah, and just get pulled around.
Yeah,
and die.
And yet another.
Yeah. So that was dumb. Plus, it's like you're doing this ceremony and you're probably aware of those creatures. You don't have any warning system.
Yeah, it's like putting a baby at the edge of a lake in Australia.
Yeah. It's just
let's put the kid in the water where we know a giant freaking crocodile is going to be.
Come on. Yeah, that was silly. But they're saved by Din Djarin and Grogu, who've been reunited. Djarin speaks with the armorer, expressing his belief that he can go to Mandalore and bathe in the living waters. The armorer agrees that he will be accepted back into the clan should he achieve this. Now, this was already set up in Book of Boba Fett. We've talked about it.
Yeah.
But I guess that's your mini refresher if you didn't watch Book of Boba Fett.
Right.
But maybe they cleverly are saying, hey, if you want to know how he got Grogu back, you got to watch Boba.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it. It's not like bad storytelling. It's them going, hey, if you want to know, you better watch it.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is.
It's a typical Disney move.
So Djarin and Grogu head to Navarro, where they reunite with now High Magistrate Grief Karga.
Okay. One other thing. For the fact that my daughter is into cheerleading, anytime I hear Navarro now, I think of that damn school from Texas that they had the Netflix series about with cheerleading.
Oh, right. Well, it's not that. They do have a school.
Yes, they do have a school.
This is a school.
That used to be a bar.
I like that Grief Karga has those robots that carry his cape.
Everywhere
yes!
he goes. That's
very cool. I like that a lot. He looks great. I like that he's offering Mando some land to stay there and be a lawman and do all those things. Which that alone would be a fun show, I'm sure.
Yes.
Karga offers Djarin a place to live. However, he declines. The two are interrupted by a band of pirates who were members of Karga's guild. they kill all but one of them in a standoff as they want him to inform others of Grief's strong force. So yeah, that's the moment when they want to go into the bar and have a drink.
Yeah,
I really laughed out loud when at the line when the pirate's like, well, maybe that's why they wouldn't let me in, because it's a school.
But yet continue to try to go back in. It's like, really?
Yeah, I thought that was funny. Yeah, that was pretty good. Mando gunning down like 4 of them in 10 not even 10 seconds, 3 seconds. Pretty good.
Yeah,
pretty good.
That was a definite nod to Clint Eastwood, Man with No Name.
They let one live.
Yeah,
but really that's they shouldn't have.
Right.
Now they're in more trouble.
Yeah.
Yep. So Djarin explains that he wants to revive IG-11 as he needs a droid by his side on Mandalore. I think this plot line is dumb. He should just we know he's okay with droids now.
Yeah.
We know that IG-11's memory unit is fully gone.
Right.
He's not going to just remember.
No.
From what the show is telling me, it seems like that memory unit is completely gone.
Yeah.
So there's no getting that version of him back. But he insists for some reason on this droid that had become a statue, which I thought was funny when they take him off. So they retrieve what is left of IG-11's parts from his memorial statue and attempt to revive him. They are eventually successful, but IG-11 reverts to his original programming and tries to kill Grogu.
Right.
In a fantastic Terminator reference.
T-800 way, yeah.
Yes. It's creepily crawling around the floor.
Well, no, just the upper torso. Yeah.
Yes. And they're like, shoot it. And I love when Mando throws Grogu. Yeah. Take the baby. After shutting him down, they enlist the help of Anzellan mechanics. Also, I didn't like when the statue falls and crushes, and it's the Statue of Grief. Mando says, that's using your head.
Yeah.
I take that line out.
Yeah.
No, that was bad. That was a stinker.
Yeah.
Normally I love a good one-liner, but that one was so tired. That was
them trying to implement the MCU one-liners into Star Wars, which just does not work.
I would say it's maybe one step above the MCU. Like the MCU ones are so bad, it seems like.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're not great. So after shutting him down, they enlist the help of Anzellan mechanics. They inform Djarin that he needs a memory core to fix IG-11. He leaves Navarro in search of it and asks Karga to look after IG-11 while he's gone. So I guess I like that he gets this other mission. Like I like sending him on missions. That's my favorite thing when they do with him.
Yeah.
Some of my favorite episodes are just him going to try to do something.
Just the bounty stuff.
Yeah, I love all that stuff.
You know.
So the fact that this is what he's set up with, I like. But I think the whole IG-11 propulsion unit for this idea is not ridiculous. Yeah. It's not good. No. So while attempting to leave Navarro, Djarin and Grogu are attacked by pirates, including the one they spared earlier. They are eventually led to their leader, Gorian Shard, who asks Djarin to surrender his ship. Yeah, he's swampy seaweed the hut, I guess. Yeah. There's a really funny, like the last moment when
refrigerator mold
when he jumps when they jump to hyperspace. It zooms in on the puppet head of that guy, and he goes, it like looks so bad. I want a GIF. It's very funny though.
Once I said that was definitely a Mel Brooks nod on that one too.
Yeah, it's not great, but no. I applaud that they would be brave enough to use something that looks that dumb.
Yeah,
because it does.
It does.
I do like it. They jump to hyperspace and eventually heads to Calevia. Excuse me. Calavia? I don't know how it's pronounced. He says it.
I think it's Calavia. Yeah.
Calavia. A planet in the Mandalore system where Bo-Katan Kryze now resides. She explains to Djarin that she no longer plans to overtake Mandalore as her allies gave up on her and they became mercenaries instead.
Right.
So if you've seen the trailers,
right,
you pretty much know that Mando's going to reunite those mercenaries,
right,
and sort of lead a force of them.
Yeah.
maybe eventually back to Mandalore. I'm sure that'll be later in the season, but I mean, it's pretty obvious that's she sets that up. Like, oh, if you have the sword, they'll follow you. So we know that's where that's going.
Right.
I like the castle. The Mandalorian castle was really cool.
That has been in Clone Wars.
Oh, has
the
it?
Castle has, yeah.
That same one?
Yes.
Cool. I didn't know that. It looks great.
That planet and that castle was built by the family that John Favreau's character
Vizsla?
in Mandalorian. Vizsla, yeah. It was built by the Vizsla tribe or whatever.
Pre-Vizsla?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually I think it was, I can't remember if it was Clone Wars or Rebels, Darth Maul sat on the throne there for a while.
Cool.
When he,
I think I've seen shots of that, but I've never actually watched any of those episodes.
Yeah.
So I did watch one episode of Rebels the other day and thought, this is going to be tough. I don't know if I can get through this.
Well, and we got a Rebels nod.
That's those creatures, right? The hyperspace creatures?
The hyperspace whales.
Yeah. I remembered briefly hearing about it, and I know it's to do with Thrawn and Ezra and all that stuff. But since I didn't watch any of it, I don't really know the full story.
That's kind of a precursor to hit those two.
Right.
Because right now they're stuck in that space in that dimension in hyperspace.
Right.
That's kind of where it ended.
And okay, the same day that came out, there was a new episode of The Bad Batch.
Yes.
And Bad Batch had a really cool reference, and I don't know if it's been, maybe they referenced it in Bad Batch before, but you actually got to see it in this. And it's like a really cool reference to something from the old not MCU, oh God, from the old expanded universe.
Right.
Mount Tantus.
Yes.
Which is in the Thrawn trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
That's where they used to do cloning. Emperor had a hidden base there.
Right.
That's where the Jedi Master Joris Cabalth, or however you pronounce it, was. And he was like running his little civilization there.
Yeah.
And but it's like cloning. And it's straight up from the Timothy Zahn books.
Yeah.
And you got to see it. And the whole episode of Bad Batch was like a alien reference. So like there's a ship that gets taken over by this alien life form. And then the Bad Batch shows up and it's like, what's going on here? Everyone's dead. And it's like an alien episode. It's pretty fun.
Right.
So I had a better reaction from that episode than I did from Mando, which look, I liked Mando. It was good. It's setting things up. But I was definitely more excited about the Bad Batch for whatever reason.
I think it was a little slow. Mandalorian. I think Bad Batch had way more excitement in it.
Mando had to set some things up. I get it.
Yeah, and Bad Batch seemed to have more, I don't know. I know we're in this whole thing of Din Djarin getting, back into the clan and all this.
I don't know why he wants it at this point.
I mean, at this point, it just, I'm hoping there's more to it, because at this point, that whole storyline I'm kind of mad on. So
I'm hoping
it's not
for more.
and it's not that I didn't like it. It's just,
I get it.
It's not been the last two seasons. You know what I mean? So, and we ended the last season of Mandalorian, and I'm discounting anything on Boba Fett.
Fett. He's so nervous all the time.
I know, right?
Boba Fett.
Boba Fett. Who frets? Who frets? But anyway, it ended on such a final note on the actual season of Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Not Boba Fett.
And they instantly undo it all,
And they instantly undo it all in this.
But I love the Luke Skywalker stuff. I want more CG Luke. Give it. I really do. I want it. I don't care if it's CG or if it's not really his voice or whatever.
Right.
I really like that stuff, and I find myself rewatching that stuff the most. So Should we have a Luke show, maybe?
In all honesty, I would be fine with Sebastian Stan's taking over the part. That way we can get some actual better acting.
I agree.
Than just throwing the CG lines in there.
Even if it was just that, though.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Just for some consistency, I would take that. I would take the look being correct over maybe exactly the delivery. I mean, he has a way. He has a sort of an airy delivery on most things. By the end of Return of the Jedi, he pretty much speaks in one sort of way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. But I like it. I like where it's going. I'm ready to go along for this ride. I'm looking forward to Wednesday.
Right. I mean, and with all these shows, we know we're getting the MCU style that all these different properties are going to lead into one big event. We already know this.
Imagine a movie, though. A movie with Ahsoka and Mando and CG Luke and fighting Thrawn.
My only thing with that is being a classic. I would love to see it. I'm not going to lie. I would love to see that. My only big thing is being a historian in Star Wars, kind of, going back to the originals and the extended universe novels and everything else. For Ahsoka to have so much influence in the
when she wasn't
in anything.
She seems like she could fall into the Mara Jade slot, which I don't want. I want Mara Jade.
I want Mara Jade. Yeah. I want, Luke wasn't bi or whatever they want to call him now. Luke had a wife. Luke had kids.
You can be bi and have a wife. What are you talking about?
No acknowledgement of Mara Jade. No acknowledgement of kids. No, he's not. Luke is not a they, them. Sorry.
Well, Mark Hamill said he's whatever you want him to be.
Well, Mark Hamill's also a Looney Tunes. What
does he know about Luke Skywalker?
Okay. Let's see. The Guyver, Corvette Summer.
The Guyver rules. The Guyver rules. Don't you dare.
Yeah, let's. We'll go with that.
But back to the Thrawn thing.
Yes.
Would you not want to see Luke Skywalker have to fight his clone?
I didn't say that I didn't want to.
Come on.
I said, I'm not saying that I didn't want to. I'm saying that now the only issue I had was that the fact that we're playing so much into
the Filoniverse.
The Filoniverse. Yeah.
I agree.
I want more of the backstory too. That's the problem that I have now with the modern MCU. We're skipping decades of stories,
right?
To jump into the ultimate and beyond that.
But with Star Wars,
Star Wars is doing the same thing right now.
I tend to agree with you, but I think watching Bad Batch has made me feel more okay with the way Mando is going, because I'm more and more understanding the Filoniverse, and I want more with the clones. I don't know. So maybe I just haven't seen enough of it.
Right. I mean, I'm fine with that. I'm not saying that I hate it or anything else other than not liking the sequels all that much. But they're doing the same thing, and I fear that it's going to run into the same problems the MCU is having now. That everybody, the most part, your fans know the backstory of these characters.
Mm-hmm.
And they're only playing to the quote-unquote new fans. So it's like Marvel is doing from the Ultimates on.
Yeah, which does seem dumb.
Which is, I mean,
the Ultimates are great, but there's so much before that.
You almost have a half a century of stories
I agree
previously.
Yeah.
And I mean, Star Wars, you have, 3.5 decades.
Yeah, but that stuff isn't real anymore.
Well,
it's legends.
But it is, and it is, if you're going to pull some of these other things off.
The fact that Thrawn is back is hold on.
The fact that Thrawn is, it's rewind.
Yeah. Which is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand. I agree.
So, I mean, that's my biggest thing. And like I said, I am wholeheartedly in. to Thrawn to be the quote unquote Thanos of the Star Wars
Yes.
universe.
Would love
and
it.
all lead to a conflict with him. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
But I'm also not wanting to alter some of the backstory of these characters
I think it's going to happen either
in
way.
sacrifice of that.
I think it's going to happen. I don't think we can avoid it.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
So
I'll try not to cry too much. I will cry.
It may be done. I may be, I'm barely holding on to the MCU right now.
Yeah.
Did
you see Ant-Man? Did you end up seeing it?
I'm not a fan.
Oh, okay.
I'm not a fan.
Like I talked about before.
We'll do this real fast, just kind of in conjunction. I think they're relying too much, and Star Wars is doing this to a degree too. They're relying too much on computer animation, special effects.
Yeah, Ant-Man for sure. The whole movie is CG.
But the thing is with Ant-Man, I know they're doing this whole Kang War thing, which I think is a mistake because I think the multiverse was pretty convoluted in phase 4. And I think your average fans are going to be like, what the hell is this? I think Secret Wars would have probably been a better bet.
Aren't they still doing Secret Wars?
Yeah, but they're doing this whole Kang verse first.
Right.
That's their big thing. And then they're doing the small series of Secret Wars kind of as almost like as an alternate timeline. But still in, it's a side story that's going on.
Right.
So yeah, and to me, Ant-Man is more of a Spider-Man type story.
Smaller.
He's grounded, small. It's about the personal characters and the personal character of Ant-Man, not these grand, multi-dimensional, epic escapades.
Sure.
Something that you would get like the Guardians, something you would get, Doctor Strange, something in regards to those kind of things, and not. You need those grounded characters. I really think you need those grounded characters to round out a whole universe.
Sure.
And they've thrown all these characters that have been grounded normally into these basically out of their element. So I'm barely hanging on for Marvel right now.
All right. Well, what's the next Marvel movie?
Next Marvel movie would be.
It's not Marvels, is it?
Yes.
Is that the next one?
No. Is Thunderbolts coming out before Marvels? Since they moved Marvels back, because they moved Marvels to November.
I'm gonna Google it. Oh, Guardians in May.
Yeah.
We can look forward to that.
Guardians almost like the outlier. No, yes,
okay.
I'm in for Guardians. Guardians is the outlier, I think, because it kind of it plays to having that like big open world.
Yeah.
And the fantastical.
Yep. The more galactic version of the story, yeah.
And the fact that this is James's last MCU movie.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And
looks like Thunderbolts. Sorry.
That's fine.
This that I'm reading, let me get a date on this here.
They've changed so many dates, it's hard to know.
So this is from February. This says Ant-Man was February 17th. Guardians is May 5th.
Right.
The Marvels is November 10th.
Yes.
And then we're into next year.
Okay.
Captain America, New World Order.
Right.
Which I don't know much about. Thunderbolts is not till July of 2024.
Okay.
Then Blade, supposedly September 6th.
Well, 2025?
2024.
2025.
Deadpool 3, November 8th of 2024. Fantastic Four is February 2025, tentatively.
26.
Yeah, well, the Secret Wars is slated for 2026.
Yeah.
And then Armor Wars is still TBA. Still.
Yeah.
I want my Cheetle, baby.
Well, because Ironheart isn't even going to be until 2024, which that's supposed to play into.
There's a separate list for the series.
Shows.
Here. This says late 2023.
Really?
Mm-hmm. But
it says late. It doesn't have a definitive date.
It might be so late that it's the next year.
Right.
I'm looking forward to Loki. And we have Secret Invasion.
You were higher on that than I was.
I do quite like Loki.
I mean, the Secret Invasions I'm actually more into.
Yeah, that's going to be fun, right?
Than Loki. So.
Oh, real quick. Did you see that new deleted footage from Iron Man 1?
Oh, yes. They
added some swears.
Yes.
And that's pretty funny.
Some characters.
Yeah. That's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I wish we would have got that stuff.
That would have been fun. So anywho,
like I said, that would have played into the Secret Wars stuff before anything else after Infinity, because you can play it into the Thanos stuff. Which, I mean, I know it was the character rights and all that crap. Man, could you imagine what Infinity War and Endgame would have been if you had those guys?
Like all the X-Men and everything.
The X-Men and Silver Surfer and.
It would have been definitely more,
and then
accurate to the story.
And you had the Adam Warlock in it.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's funny that they're introducing him now.
Yeah.
It's like too
After
late.
The fact.
Yeah. It's like that's what I know him from the most is the Thanos thing. So it's like, why do we bother with him now? I don't know.
Well, and then he's got a gem on his head. If you see the scenes, it's like, it's not the Soul Stone.
Yeah, like what? I agree. It's like, what's going on here?
Does he have one of those batteries rocket stole in his forehead?
That's what it is, yes.
So I don't
all
know.
right. Well, that's all Mando.
Yes.
That's all Marvel for today.
Yeah.
Is there anything else before we go?
No, just if you guys would, if you're watching this, like and subscribe. If you're on the podcast, like that too. Give us a rating, and then go over to YouTube and like and subscribe.
Follow us on YouTube. You can watch us on the tube.
Yes.
Put us on while you're working. Ignore us.
Listen to us in your car on the way somewhere.
Yes, take us with you everywhere.
And we've talked about this. And I want to kind of get maybe some feedback. Do you guys as listeners, do you want us to do more shorts too? Do you want us to maybe come on live once in a while?
I'm wearing shorts right now, Chris.
I know.
It's that kind of weather. I'm that kind of guy.
I mean, if you want to consider underwear shorts, then yeah.
Whoa! Don't stand up.
Yeah.
No, okay. Yeah, please join the Discord. Yeah. Follow us on YouTube.
That's a big one. Join the Discord.
Leave us a rating on Spotify, all the fun stuff.
Yep. So
thanks for listening.
But other than
as
that,
always.
Yep. You've got some reading to do.
Mm-hmm. I sure have.
For another guest that we've got coming up soon.
Yes.
So
yes, I better go do that.
I know, right?
Like right now. All right. Well, we'll see you guys next time.
Yep. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.